schools. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Evan so we can get started.
Good afternoon, school members. Welcome to the annual Block Booking with NACA webinar. Prior to launching into the 2014 fall conference season, we want to see and hear about all of the exciting new changes that will be coming our way. For those of you that don't know, my name is Evan Schaefer, and I have the absolute pleasure of serving as the NACA National Block Booking Coordinator. I'm a coordinator senior at Arizona State University in Tempe. Last year became a certified special event professional and will be attending the South and South and West regional conferences. I also do special event festival consultant and professional voiceover in case any of you are looking to re-record your office, cell phone, or home voicemail. Please inquire within. The next member of the team is Nellie Hermanson. Nellie is the Assistant National Block Booking Coordinator, also serving as the Associate Director for Campus Programs and Student Activities at the University of Iowa in Iowa City, Iowa. Her home region is Northern Plains. Contact email is that. Conferences this fall that she will be attending is Central, Mid-America, and Northern Plains. For those of you that are attending...
We're not seeing the PowerPoint.
That's rude. No kidding.
Sorry.
So what do you see?
The website.
Oh. Sucky. And I'm assuming they can hear all of this too, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, now where did it go? Morgan, why does this program stink?
I don't know. Click PowerPoint. Now make it big.
Hold on. I know this. Haha!
There.
What's up now? Got it?
Now. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I want them to see my face. I'm not going to start over. By the way, I sound like movie phone because we're recording this so that we can turn it into wonderful block booking tutorials that can be available online through your block booking portal. All right, moving on. Please meet the regional block booking team. Representing the NACA South is Jessica Searcy, Mid-Atlantic, Amy Fine, Central, Seville Harris, Northeast, Colleen Powers, Mid-America, Devin Asoro, West is Aaron Tuttle, and Northern Plains is Rich Ramos. Nellie and I work with this great group of regional block booking coordinators to help facilitate this process and make it easier to bring cost savings to your campus. Just as a reminder, protocol for this webinar is that your phone and microphone will be muted, so you will not be able to speak with me or the group directly, which makes this incredibly awkward because I have some funny quirks in here that only I or Morgan will be able to laugh at, so I hope that you will enjoy them as well. Morgan from NACA will be monitoring questions and content to make sure that you can chat into her if you have and will have the ability to interrupt me with your questions. Don't be afraid to ask any questions, and I ask when you ask a question that it be done in a respectful way. We will be experiencing some significant changes this upcoming year, and although somewhat challenging for some, it will be incredibly beneficial and awesome for everyone. Today's webinar agenda will include a full overview of the new NACA Block Booking Beta system, including block booking registration, associate member portal, school member portal, the block booking meeting, and guidebook. After that's over with, we will launch, if there is time left, we will launch into our standard What is Block Booking to give you all, for those newcomers, give you the basic understanding of how to do block booking. Our main goal for the release of this, what is our main goal for the release of this new system? The goal of the block booking team is to facilitate a process in which block booking is a more accessible process for institutions and associates made easy through the integration of a new all-mobile platform. What was changed last season? To launch us back into the past, we redid the branding and website as well as the logo to help brand the block booking with NACA process a little bit further. We eliminated the naughty list and projector in camp and now are texting directly to the buyer. Block booking orientation video was also implemented to help with consistency across the board. For those of you that were not aware of the new branding, let me give you an idea. This is our new branding. It's very exciting. It's sleek. It's slimming. It's very, very chic. As you can see down on the very bottom, look out for our trademark, the Block Booking B, we call it. Anytime you see that, you will know that you are in the right place if you are looking for cost savings for your institution. So, it all starts with registration. When you come to get your bags, you will no longer be signing a signature card. No signature will be required for any part of the beta system. You will be entering all of the information into our online database, only accessible from the Block Booking registration booth or in camp. You will then receive an email with the username and password of the user that you registered to start using the NACA Block Booking beta system. It will collect the information we need in order to get you started. Basically, what's going to happen is you're going to approach the desk with a smile on your face, and you're going to say, I'm here to register for Block Booking. And then at that point, we'll know whether or not you participated in this webinar or listen to it. But nonetheless, you go up and you say, I'm going to register for Block Booking. You will fill in all of the fields within the form are auto-populated. So that way, if I walk up as Arizona State University and I select Arizona State University Tempe, then all of my delegates that are registered for that particular event will pop up. I then select which one is going to be my block booker, the email address for which they are going to be checking throughout the conference, as well as input their phone number so that if there is a problem, we can contact them, and then hit submit. Upon hitting submit or finish, an email will be generated to that particular user notifying them of their username and password. All advisors that already have access into the NACA system, the NACA.org website, will also have access into the block booking website. If you choose to have your students block book, you are more than welcome to give them your username and password so that they can access the system through you. That will enable you to receive all of the email confirmation. What's that you say? Email confirmation? That's only the tip of the iceberg. I know what's happening right now. You're getting excited. So how do I even get started? I know you're wondering. Okay? So let's continue. I want to introduce to you the new, I tried to do the theme song from the Chicago Bulls, but that didn't work out because of some audio issues. So I want to introduce to you the new NACA Block Booking Beta system. As you can see here, this website is very slimming and very chic. You will notice that on the front page here, it has all of the information related to block booking in terms of general information, how you can participate in block booking, how big are the savings. Just so that you all are aware, this is traditionally what I make on an annual basis. So that kind of should be our goal for the upcoming year. Block Booking 101, which will soon be changed out and remodified with our new, showcasing our new platform. And then, of course, being interested in learning more about NACA. So we're going to log into the Block Booking Beta system. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to log in as a school member. Click Log into Block Booking. Now, the username for signing, your username and password will be the same username and password that you use for the NACA.org website. What you probably don't know is that everyone that you register for a particular event is given a username and password to access our online database, to access all of the resources that we have available for our members, including but not limited to membership directory, and of course the block booking system. Now, Block Booking Beta is entirely separate from the NACA website. So any of the timing issues that may incur as a result of trying to log in do not exist in this system. This is built entirely separate. We pull information from ProTech, which is our association management system that will help to populate this system. So I will log in as one of our test accounts. As you will see here, it says welcome of the home screen. You'll be able to see it. Now, if you happen to lose your password, the block booking team will have the ability to look it up in camp. Please do what you can to remember it. If you'd like some password suggestions, please email me and I'd be happy to help you out. If you are nowhere in camp or it's the middle of the night and you realize you want to log into your block booking portal, no problem. You can retrieve or reset your password by visiting your NACA membership portal. So going back to this particular screen here is if you click on this particular button, it'll open up a new window, and then you can follow the instructions here for changing out your password if you happen to forget it. But since I remember mine, I will log back in. You can also select Sign Me In Automatically. You can also select Sign Me In Automatically, which will ensure that you are logged into the system for the remainder of your usage. It times out after 4 hours of inactivity. So that way, if you happen to access the system from another window, another program, for example, guidebook, then you're already logged in and you don't have to worry about it. In the top right-hand corner, you'll see the school code and the school name, which we've talked about. The Manage Bookings tab will allow you to see current block booking activity, access the calendars of artists you've expressed interest in by submitting a form, and enter a new form. So as of right now, as you will see, this is the list of block booking activity that has already been completed for this institution. I'm going to show you now how to enter a new form. Click the button, Enter a New Form. On the next screen, you'll have the option to either enter a form using ACT or Artist ID or search for your ACT. The ACT artist number is available in the associate member booth in camp. For the sake of time, I have an ACT ID already, so we're going to go ahead and enter the form using an ACT or Artist ID. Just to give you an idea as well, the search for your ACT feature here will only search those artists that are within the roster of those associates that are registered for the particular conference. So for example, if you're looking for Joe Comedian, who happens to be a part of Associate Group A, but Associate Group A Incorporated is not necessarily at that particular event, unfortunately you will not be able to book them. One of the things that we're instilling this upcoming year is that for both associates and for school members, a part of the membership, a part of your membership with NACA gives you access to block booking, and so that way, from now on, no non-member schools will be able to participate in block booking. Enter using ACT Artist ID. As you will see, the online screen, and I will zoom out so you can see it. It looks very similar to what a form looks like. So we're going to go ahead and enter in the ACT ID number that I got from the associate for which I had a phenomenal conversation with. Now, I entered in the ACT ID, and as you can see, the name of the artist automatically populated to the right. Because I logged in as Joe Crabb, I already was preloaded with Test University. My name, Joe Crabb, my phone number, and my email address. Now, keep in mind that if I selected this drop-down menu, in theory, it will pull anyone that is registered for that particular event. So if I happen to have Joe Crabb, if I happen to have Morgan Grant, if I happen to have Evan Schaefer, then I could select any one of those particular delegates as the one that's filling out this block booking form, and it will automatically populate with the phone number and email address that you put in for them during registration, or that they have under their registration account. That will be the user that will receive the email confirmation once you submit this form. We're working on a way that advisors will automatically get copied as a result of any form being submitted. However, at this particular time, the email confirmation only gets sent to the contact that is selected right here. Once you enter in the artist ID number, the associate member's information will automatically populate. In addition to, if there happens to be more than one associate registered for that particular event, you can click this button here and select which associate you spoke with, and then it will automatically populate with that particular associate's information. Now, what do I do? Now you need to basically proceed down to the interest section, and we're going to go ahead and select Commitment if Block Forms. Then you select a time of day, which we're going to do a night show, and then our play date is going to be my birthday. No, actually, we're going to do just going to do October 31st. We're going to do it on Halloween. So Linda's going to come lecture about all the ghosts and goblins that could be at your particular school. Now, you have two options to enter the date. You can enter it in based upon this format, or you click this little calendar button here, and it will automatically take you to a little pop-up calendar. We click the 31st. We hit Finish. And voila, block booking form confirmation. So this basically notifies you that the form was submitted. Now, you have two options here. You can return to my calendar or, oops, I made a mistake. If you happen to hit this button, the associate will still have been notified that the form had been submitted, but it will remove it from their database. So if you happen to need to get out of that, you will still be required to go to the associate and let them know that you made a mistake. For the sake of time, we're going to return to my calendar. Now, as you can see, Linda Lecture has been entered here as 11/27 under contracted block as formed. 10/31 was the date. Yikes, sorry. 10/31 is the date, Linda Lecture, and the contracted block is formed. Now, as you'll notice, it says pending. So what we're going to do now is, normally I'd log into the web, NACA webmail, but unfortunately my block booking account doesn't seem to be working today. So we're going to log into my personal account. Now, this is the email that I received because I'm the school contact. This email comes instantaneously. And by instantaneously, I mean within probably 30 to 45 seconds, no longer than a minute. If it is longer than a minute, chances are it might have gotten stuck in your spam filter. However, we've done what we absolutely could to ensure that these messages do not get stuck in spam folders. This is basically your receipt telling you that a block booking form has been created at NACA South using the NACA block booking form. It's telling you that the status is pending. The act is Linda Lecture. It gives the agency contact information as well as your contact information, what your interest is, what your time of date is. And then on behalf of the block booking department, we thank you for your participation. So sometimes artists will be, the reason that we generate this email as pending is because the associate will need to log into their portal to accept or decline the request. Sometimes artists will be available for certain times that may not be reflected on their calendar. The associate will always be able to determine whether the date you selected makes sense with other business in the area. Once approved or declined by the associate, the system will resend an email confirmation to you notifying you that the activity was either accepted or declined. The associate is able to add notes to the email that is sent to approve or decline the request. If they don't include any notes, please follow up with the associate member in their booth. I will show you now what a declined email looks like. And I apologize because, again, all of my emails were in the current system. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log in as an associate. I'm going to basically decline the request that was just submitted. So this is the associate member portal. As you can see, the associates have a little bit different view, but it says awaiting approval and how many total forms there are. So we're going to click on Linda Lecture, since that's the one that we submitted. You're going to see this lovely block booking B, which is a visual indicator that there is a block based upon this particular radius up here. This is very, very exciting for us. We no longer have to worry about being able to master world geography, nor do we have to worry about being Magellan or Christopher Columbus as we're trying to work our way through the block booking meeting. The radius is 300 miles. The default is set at 300 miles with 3 events within 5 days. And so I'm going to select the 31st, here we go, pending. So the associate member will click this, and then what we'll do is we're going to decline due to Halloween. You're going to hit finish, and it will automatically remove it from the associate member's portal. However, if they hit this button up here that says show declined forms, it will show all of the forms that were declined so that if they choose to follow up with you, then they certainly can. Now I'm going to go back to my inbox, for which, oh no, it was just declined. Declined notes, sorry Test University, this date is unavailable due to Halloween. So a lot of times the associate members will put in here that they will, stop by my booth number 946, and we will touch base and find you a new date. Okay, great. So then we go back to the school member portal, and it will, and assuming, of course, that you're not being a double agent between an associate member and a school, it will disappear from your particular calendar as well. You also have the option to opt in to show declined forms. That will give you the opportunity to see what forms have been declined and where. Now, another great feature, so after we show the declining forms, another great feature of this is being able to change an existing form. So let's say that after you meet with your delegation, it just so happens that Carl the comedian is no longer going to work on the 10th of October. Because you put in, you're still interested in the CR, so you find a new date, and you say, you know what, let's go with the 17th. So we're going to hit finish. Then it's going to resend the confirmation, okay, to the particular associate. Now, in going back to the email address, oh, that's awkward. That's going to Nellie. Okay, we're going to go back to my calendar, and we're going to find one that happens to be for me. Perfect. All right, so let's just say that the 8th isn't going to work for you. You want to move it to the 12th because you want to do a lecture on October 12th, a Sunday. So right now, as you can see, the block booking confirmation is right there. I've already got notification that I have an email. Block booking form has been modified. Because it was originally approved and then you modified it, it then goes back into pending status, which means the associate will then have to log in and approve or decline the request. Any type of change or activity that is done through your particular portal will always go to the associate for approval. Anything done through the associate's portal will automatically be approved because obviously you're working through the associate. Anything done through the on-site meeting calendar of the block booking portal is automatically approved as well because it will be during a block booking meeting. Please, this is very, very important. Please do not submit another form to change the date or change the interest level. Let me say that again. Do not submit another form to change the date or view the interest level or change the interest level because what that will do is that's going to offset and it's going to duplicate your forms within the system. Now, going into an accepted form for a CR, you will not be able to downgrade to any other level. The system is designed that once you submit the form under a particular level, you will not be able to reselect a different level. So if you have to opt out of that, you will have to have a conversation with the associate in order to get out of that commitment. Now, another great view of the system is the ability to view the artist calendar. Let's say that you happen to want to see what Carl's been up to, and so you want to view his calendar. Okay, we're going to go and view Carl's calendar. As you'll see, Carl is incredibly popular with some schools already. Some of the great features of this calendar are the default will be to check all of the regions. So if you don't want to see the activity from all the regions, then unselect those regions that you don't want to see. And you do that by unchecking these boxes up here. Now, if you happen to want, obviously if you want to block, you're going to have your particular region selected. However, if you happen to be going to the Mid-Atlantic Regional Conference, and it's right after South, and you happen to have South checked, South's dates will automatically populate there. Now, you can use those as anchor dates if you happen to be within range, a particular distance of that particular artist, or you can unselect South and then hit refresh, and then it will automatically populate with whichever regional conference that you happen to be a part of. Now, because South is the first regional conference, we've inputted all of this data into the South Regional. So let me show you the exciting new features of this calendar view. If you happen to hit click enter new, if you are interested in Carl and you happen to see a date that works for you, enter new form, everything is automatically populated for you. You have your artist name and act ID number, the school's name, the associate's name. All you're responsible for is the interest level, as well as the time of day, as well as the date. Then you hit finish, and it's just as if you had sent the block booking form from your from your individual portal there. So that is very, very exciting. This particular view also displays the mileage from your particular location. So for example, Test University is located in Columbia, South Carolina. From Columbia, South Carolina, based on a zip code regional search, Greenville, South Carolina is 84 miles away from me. Spartanburg, South Carolina is 73 miles away. Mount Pleasant, South Carolina is 117 miles away, and so on and so forth. Based upon our radius search for 300 miles within a 3 to 5 day window, you will see that the system will automatically indicate that a block has been formed by the visual indicators. If you weren't blown away already, well, hold on to your hats, because this system, as we talked about, illustrates blocks with a purple block booking B. If the B is yellow, that means that if the institution were to upgrade to a CB or CR, then they would be a part of the block. For example, and I'll zoom in here. This particular yellow B is more like a yield sign, letting the institution know that if they upgrade to a CB or a CR, then they will be a part of this wonderful-looking block here. And then it will complete a 5 of 7. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to utilize this Pretend University as a beta test for our walkthrough here. You'll notice that the B is clickable. Well, Evan, by what do you mean? Before I do that, I want to also let you know that the red question mark indicates an SI. Now, if the red question mark pops up, what that means is that the range that was selected is within a blockable time frame for the school if there's already a block that exists. So for example, if they were to upgrade to a CB or CR, then that would mean that they would be a part of the block. So we took basic indicators, we took basic photo indicators, picture indicators, and utilized them to our advantage. Now we're going to click on this particular B, and I want you to get ready for your mind to be blown. I'm just going to throw it out there. Okay? So we're going to click on that B. Now, as you can see up here, it has all of your information, contact information, but wait, oh, what is this? Oh, that's right. It's a Google Map integration. So as you can see above, it assigns for the schools that are a part of this particular block, it will assign letters to each one of those schools and then Google Map them on the map that is embedded below. Now, because there is a school that happens to have an SI, we can check to display SI dates on the map, and it will assign the school a particular letter, and then it will also route them into the system. So it will not only do that, but it will tell you how far, what the distance is from Pretend University. Since Pretend University is the school that we selected as our quote anchor, then it will basically select them as an anchor. So the distance from the previous would be for Pretend University. So from Pretend University to Pretend Bible College is 20 miles. From Pretend Bible College to Pretend University is 20 miles, obviously. And then from Pretend University to Test University is 73 miles. Now, although this feature is cool for you, it's even better for associates. When you click on View Map in Full Screen, it'll open in a new window, and then what it'll ultimately do is it's going to pull the physical address that's in the database, the ProTech database, and it's going to map it strategically. So that way, if the associates would like to send this particular routing map directly to their artist, whether it be via smartphone or they can email it to them, whatever the case may be, then they can do that. Now, again, this is the physical address for the address that you've entered into your block booking portal. If you happen to be in your gymnasium, your auditorium, whatever the case may be, or another venue around town that is not this particular address, then it won't populate. But nonetheless, because that's not in the NACA database. But nonetheless, it's still a phenomenal feature for our associates and for our school members. So this works for all. This works for every artist. So if you want to go back and you want to say, okay, let's pick another one. Okay, so here's a new set of dates with points and maps. Very, very, very exciting. Things that are still to come for So that basically is an overview of the block booking system as it relates to an online format. Things that are still to
come. Can I go ahead and get you to answer questions that people have?
Yeah.
Kind of while you're in between.
Yeah, I would be more. Let me finish this first. Things that are still to come are Outlook and iCal downloads of your particular bookings, as well as the ability to pull a PDF report for all the bookings that you did at a particular meeting. So after you get back from your particular university, you can download, an iCal or an Outlook for all of your dates, or you can pull a PDF file from your particular user account. Okay, go ahead, Morgan.
Okay. Can more than one representative be a block booker, i.e. staff member and a student?
That's a great question. The answer is yes. Anyone that has a username and password within the NACA system can be a block booker. So for example, the only reason why we have the registration on site is because a lot of times folks don't know their usernames and passwords. And so this is going to put it in your inbox to allow you to be able to block book. Now, if you as a school member, or if you as an advisor would like to, you as an advisor are asked to manage that process. Basically what that means is that you will be expected to, if you don't want all of your students to be able to block book, then you need to make sure that only one student has the username and password. If you want them all to block book to save time and efficiency, then that's fine. Just make sure that they attend our orientation, or through the training resources tab here, we will have a variety of school resources, whether it is a downloadable PDF of how to enter a form. It'll have videos, quick 90-second videos of how to enter the form, and all of that other fun stuff. And then Morgan, can you do me a favor and write down all of these questions as well?
Sure. Okay. Will artist IDs be in the program book?
No, artist IDs will not be in the program book. However, one of the features that I was going to show you next is going to be integration with Guidebook. So you don't necessarily need the artist ID and act ID in order to do the booking. So once we get done with these questions, then we'll part of this tutorial is going to be to go through Guidebook.
Can you change the contact phone number and email that automatically populate on the form?
Absolutely. So if you go into Manage Booking and enter New Form, enter Act ID, the only person that you cannot change is the name, because those are what delegates pull from the system. But if you want to change the area code, or the phone number, that's totally fine. If you want to change this to Evan is #1@gmail.com, that's fine too. And then it will send to whatever email address is listed as the school contact.
Did you state that once the interest level has been submitted on the form, it cannot be modified?
Yes, that is correct. So the whole idea behind that is that we want to make sure that both schools and associates don't have the ability to cancel an agreement, cancel a form, or downgrade a form without the other one knowing. And so for right now, you'll be able to toggle between the CR and CB, but once you get to that particular level, you will not be able to go to an SD or SI.
Okay. Is there a notification that's sent if you are potentially part of a block?
That is another great question. As of right now, no. However, what we're looking to do is integrate the block booking B into your particular portal here, so that way, once you are in a block, it will automatically show on your user account. I don't know whether or not that will be live for South, but that's a modification that we're looking to put in there. But for right now, all you have to do is click View Calendar, and then you'll be able to see whether or not you're a part of a block.
Are there going to be computer kiosks throughout the conferences, or do you recommend bringing laptops or tablets?
That is a great question, and something that we also cover later on in this webinar. there are going to be two computers located in the block booking center that are going to be specific to the block booking kiosk. And so what that will do is you'll be able to go in and enter your forms through a block booking kiosk. But this system was also designed for Android devices, Apple devices, iPads, mobile tablets, Windows format, whatever the case may be. It is mobile HTML 5.0 compatible. So you will be able to use it through any browser, preferably Google Chrome, on any mobile device or tablet that you have.
Can we review artists prior to the event?
Review artists as in, I'm confused by that question.
I don't have any clarification. Exactly.
So I'm just gonna throw a blanket out there. I think I know where they're going with this.
Oh, she said, can we see artists perform? And Christine chimed in and said they can look at the portal to see who's showcasing and research them.
Perfect. Christine did?
Yes.
Oh, love Christine. I'm glad she's a part of this. Yes, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's a part of showcase selection. That's the showcase selection process. That's separate from this particular one. But if going through particularly the guidebook, you will be able to access their bio as well as their pricing information prior to the conference, of course, whenever the guidebook is launched. So you will be able to obviously see their information that way prior to getting to the conference.
Okay. Although we can't downgrade from CB or CR to SD or SI, can we edit forms to upgrade to CB/CR?
Absolutely. You can upgrade as many times as you would like. If you want to enter in as a CB or as an SD and then gradually upgrade to a CB and then a CR, that's just 3 particular steps or 3 different modifications. That is no problem whatsoever.
Can you explain what CR, CB, SI mean?
Yes, that is going to be towards the latter half of this presentation. The reason I wanted to start with the new stuff is because there are some veteran members of block booking that are a part of this webinar that I don't necessarily want to, quote, bore with the details of the specifics. So provided that we get through the webinar in an accurate amount of time, then I will be able to kind of go into a little bit about what exactly all of those mean.
Okay. Will there be, hold on, I'm getting them all mixed up. Is there an app to do this, or do we have to log into the website?
Right now, there is not an app that has been created for it. However, we are looking at that as well. But if you're looking to enter forms and to check calendar, you can do that through Guidebook. And I know that NACA is looking at creating an NACA app, at which point you will be able to download all of your guides by just downloading the app, and then you can download just the specific NACA guide, so you don't necessarily have to go through the Guidebook app. I don't know whether that's going to launch in the fall, but nonetheless, that's something that we're looking towards. In terms of a, quote, application, that is the only thing, the only, quote, app that you're going to be able to utilize the system in. Otherwise, it will have to be a web browser. Preferably Google Chrome.
Will there be free Wi-Fi at the conferences?
That is a fantastic question, and I do. Go ahead.
I think that there will be for the majority of them. I don't want to miss.
No, I know the answer to that, and the answer is yes. The board of directors recently just took a vote this past May or June, and they are in full support of this new system. And so to help get it kicked off, there will be free Wi-Fi in all of the regional locations. And then we are looking at the potential of adding it to the national convention as well.
There was a question about, will this webinar be offered again before the regional conferences? The webinar won't, but this is being recorded, and that's going to be posted on our website where it says upcoming webinars, just next to the description of the webinar. So it should be up by the end of the week, hopefully.
And also, too, we are creating training resources that will be available through the Training Resources tab that will be accessible for both school members and associates. It will include 30 to 90-second videos of how to enter a form, how to modify the date, how to view a calendar, how to utilize guidebook, how to log into your block booking portal, what happens if you forget your password, what are Evan's likes and dislikes, those types of things. That'll all be available through the Training Resources tab prior to the South Regional Conference.
Okay, you can carry on. That's all the questions.
Fantastic. Well, based on your questions, it sounds like you were as invested as I am with this process, as well as my team, so I'm incredibly happy to hear that. As we talked about before, because we've got 15 minutes left, I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. I'm going to kind of skim through a majority of this. This is the training resources that we talked about earlier. Just so you know, this is what our regional block booking booth is going to look like. These particular computers over here will be our block booking kiosks. These computers here will be the block booking command center, at which point you can talk with our regional and national representative about any questions, any tech support that you may have. You may be asking yourself, you know, what happens if I don't have a mobile device or a computer? Well, no problem, because as we talked about before, there's going to be a self-service block booking kiosk. And that particular kiosk will look like this. It will be on two tall 36-inch cocktail rounds, at which point all of them will be logged into our kiosk view, which you will not need to know the artist ID for that as well. You can actually do a search based upon their name. So that particular kiosk view, you can search by their name, first name, last name. You can search your particular institution by the number. You can search it by whatever and populate the form that way. So it's very, very exciting. Now, where exactly are these self-service kiosks going to be located? There's going to be some located in the block booking meeting room as well as the campus activities marketplace. Inclusion of the block booking kiosk into the block booking center will enable the delegates to enter their own forms into the database if they don't have a mobile device. This will not replace conversations with associate members. Think of it this way. Instead of you being responsible for keeping track of paper forms, you can track it all online. Again, I need to stress this is not to replace conversations with associates. They'll be located in camp during the marketplace. The form in total should take less than 30 seconds to input, so if it takes you longer than that, we should have a separate conversation. Now, with all the technology, will the block booking meeting format change? Absolutely. They will become less about getting forms into the system and more about strategically creating blocks to make the process more efficient across the board. Some of the changes that will be had is that acts and artists will continue to be called in alpha order by agency letter. When an act is called, 3 hands, no paddles, #paperless, go in the air, and we'll still begin the conversation about the act and artist. The idea and the expectation is that the school members will do their business prior to coming into the block booking meeting room. And by do their business, I mean submit their forms. Once they get into the block booking meeting room during the caucus, we can talk about, you know, you all can go in and edit the forms if blocks are starting to form and all of that fun stuff. But by the time we start the meeting, the idea is that all of the forms that were going to be entered will have been entered at that time. So we can show the on-site meeting calendar and begin to place people into blocks. And I'll show you the on-site meeting calendar here in a second. Acts will only be called if there is business in the system, regardless of whether or not they showcased. Not that now that the act schedules are available in real time, if schools have an interest in the act, they're able to see their calendar live. Showcasing artists without forms in the system will not be called. School members will be encouraged to input their dates directly into their portal or the block booking kiosk setups prior to the start of the block booking meeting in the block booking meeting room. Your Manage Bookings tab will be updated instantly after you put your form into the system. Here's a snapshot of the block booking meeting calendar. I will show you the on-site meeting calendar and give you a demonstration. Since all the activity is being updated live, we will be using the on-site meeting calendar so we stay up to date with all of the current activity. So we're going to, we are able to make changes and input dates into the system from the screen. As it relates to the meeting, the goal is to make it more efficient and help to make the conversations with associates much more effective. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to select South. As of right now, these are all of the associates that have current forms in the system. As you can see, showcasing artists will automatically populate, and so they will obviously get called if there is business for them. And then we essentially hit next, and then it goes on to the next artist. And then we hit next, and it goes on to the next agency. So it starts in agency alpha order, and this is going to help speed up the process. Are there, oh no, I guess that wouldn't make any sense. If schools happen to want to delete a date, we can go ahead and we can delete it from this particular screen in here, no problem at all. We can show various regions. We can show, again, the distances and all of that other fun stuff. And this is essentially how we're going to manage this. So any changes that are going to be made are expected to be done through the school's mobile platform or through the block booking kiosk, or we will also have a computer for data entry up at the front run by our regional or national block booking coordinator that will assist you with inputting the data as well. So a variety of different ways to keep the process going. Frequently asked questions. There will soon be a list of frequently asked questions, all of which will include the questions that you just asked in each portal to review if you have any questions. For the sake of time, let me give you a preview of one of the questions. I'm used to triplicate forms. Do I need to invest in mobile devices in order to participate in block booking? Not at all. The system is designed to work on computers, smartphones, tablets, and everything in between. If you don't have access to any of these platforms, we'll have kiosks available in the Block Booking Center for either associates or school members, as well as the Block Booking meeting rooms to input dates into the system. As stated before, more questions are to come, so please be patient as they are being created. Wonder what this system looks like from an iPhone? Bam. This is what the system looks like from an iPhone. As you can see, it is very mobile compatible and mobile friendly. So you will be able to use it. Now keep in mind that this is from my fiance's iPhone 5, not from the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, because we both work in higher education. The next phone, how about an Android, Evan? Well, guess what? This is what an Android looks like. This is from a Galaxy Note 3, which is somewhat like a tablet. But nonetheless, it's still very mobile compatible and very awesome and very exciting. And I can't begin to tell you how exciting it is to be able to launch this entire process. Now, guidebook integration. Because Guidebook works from a mobile app and I'm currently doing this webinar from a computer, I can't show you the interface of Guidebook. However, we are in the process of recording some training videos that will be accessible through your Training Resources tab that will show you the Guidebook integration. You'll be able to enter a form directly from the artist profile, as well as view the artist calendar by the click of a button. Both options will be available starting the fall of 2014. This integration helps to excel and push block booking to the next level, and all of these options will be available this fall. While I know that we went over a lot of material, I assure you that this system is one of the easiest and most efficient ways that we'll be able to advance the block booking strategies of the association. As we're getting closer to time, I want to let everyone know that I'll be going over the block booking basics and fundamentals for those folks new to the entire process. This concludes our tour of the brand new block booking with NACA beta system. At this time, I invite you to ask any more questions that you have about the new system. One thing that I want to let you know is that this system has been 2 years in the making. Since I have stepped into the role of the National Block Booking Coordinator, one of the biggest initiatives that I had moving forward was to get rid of our paper format and jump into the 21st century. So I hope that you find purpose, I hope that you find ease, and I hope that you are excited as I am and my team is about this new block booking system.
Okay, there are two questions. Will advisors not attending the regional be able to see the block booking items for their school? Example, Tab has 2 advisors, but only one is attending the conference. Will advisor number 2 be able to see what happens with block booking, or will advisor number 1 need to provide the report to advisor number 2?
That is a great question. As of right now, if advisor number 1 is the individual that is attending the conference, then advisor number 1's credentials will have to be used to access the calendar and such. We are looking at ways that the entire delegation is able to see the calendar from their particular login if they so choose. However, because not every person will know their login, we don't want to flood the system with password changes and all that requests and or resets and everything else. So if you want to create or if you want to establish one login for your particular school, whether that be advisor B or advisor A, and have that be the portal for which they input the forms, then that's that's perfectly fine.
This just said guidebook integration will be available by fall 2014. That's now. Will it launch with NACA South?
Yes, it will launch with NACA South. However, because we have not, so we will not be releasing the new updates with the particular code for utilizing the block booking features until we get closer to South, because this system is still very much so new, and we don't want, like, once the system goes live, it's live. And so we won't actually be turning it on until we get a couple of days out from the South Regional Conference. The reason being is that if you happen to go in and start entering forms, it will start to email those associates. If those associates have absolutely no idea what's going to be, like, what's happening, that's cause for some concern. We have an associate member webinar on Thursday of this week, same time at 9 a.m. Pacific time. If you'd like to participate in that and see their interface, you're more than welcome to do so. But it will be launching at NACA South.
I'm out of questions.
Oh, you're out of questions. I thought you said you had
Yep.
one more. Okay. Nope. All right. For those of you veterans and old dogs, i.e. Dustin Lewis, that are on this call, and I don't mean old Dustin like you are old, but you can sign off if you'd like, because now we're going to launch into what exactly is block booking. Overview. So I'm going to do this in 11 minutes or 12 minutes. So bear with me. Block booking is a non-contractual, cost-effective way to program with small or large budgets. It occurs when 3 or more geographically close schools book and act within a 5-day period, or 5 schools within a 7-day period. Geographically close is defined as 4 or less hours of commuting time between locations, or the way our system identified it as 300 miles within 3 schools in 5 days. Continue with the overview. Block booking takes place in several different ways. It takes place at the NACA Regional Conference, at the National Convention in February, and up to 45 days following the NACA event where block booking sessions were held. One of the strategic goals that we have is to get associates to utilize this system on a 365-day window to allow us to block book 365 days a year, regardless of whether or not you're sitting next to one another in a room at a regional conference or you're in your office in the middle of the summertime. The idea is that everyone is able to utilize the system on a 365 way, but we're moving towards that. Now, block booking is also educational for our students. It's a great opportunity to develop and practice important leadership and communication skills in a real-world business situation. It builds transferable skills, interpersonal communication skills, networking, negotiation, public speaking, working as a team, helps to build assertiveness, problem solving, budgeting, and of course, utilizing technology. Before attending an NACA conference, you should meet with your board to discuss several items. What funds are available for block booking? What acts are showcasing or roving, which you can review that list. You can review the list of showcasing artists, or acts, at naca.org, going to NACA events, selecting your region, and then showcases. More act listings are available. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to show NACA South, and here are all of the artists that are showcasing for the upcoming NACA South Regional Conference. What schools are within 4 hours of your campus? Because know what schools are within 4 hours of your campus, because they're prime block booking partners. Ideas for discussing available funds with your programming board. Define your program goals for the next semester. Set aside a pool of money to be used for block booking at NACA, and create a communication system to share what's happening with the rest of the board back home. When I was in graduate school at St. Cloud State University, we used to actually Skype in with members of the board during their meeting to go through every morning before the educational session started to go through kind of what was discussed. So I'm not saying you necessarily have to do that, because in some time zones that could be extremely early in the morning, but making sure to touch base with your delegation to ensure that they're a part of the process. Buy-in equals support. Remember that. What should we bring to NACA? Well, programming calendars, of course, that list any special events for the university, holiday breaks, including all religious-affiliated holidays, major athletic events, or anything else that could conflict with a potential program. Make sure that if you have a department or reservation system that's outside of your area, that you have open reservation dates for your campus facilities, a copy of your programming budget with a realistic amount to spend, your creativity and ability to be flexible, and of course any mobile device and or computer, tablet, etc. Campus reservations. While at NACA, many groups struggle to make a commitment. They're unsure. Talk to your venue reservations office before you come. Tell them what you're wanting to do and ask them how they can help. Pencil in reservations before you go on dates that you know you'd like to host events, and you can always release any unused dates later. Now, how does block booking work? Before you leave campus, make some plans throughout your conference schedule to make sure that you're attending block booking orientations, go to every camp and showcase, participate in block booking meetings, schedule meetings with your delegation, network with other schools, and of course complete the new block booking beta forms online. How does block booking work, and what are the various interest levels? SI stands for strong interest, which is a range of dates. SD is interested in a single date. Commitment if block forms is also a single date. And the block is described as a 3-school in 5 days, or 5 schools in 7 days. And then CR is contract requested on site. CR is the most assertive form of block booking. Now, strong interest is basically saying you have a general interest in the artist. This level of interest can be upgraded to any level, but it's not recommended for more than a month. This is basically throwing a bone to the associate and saying, hey, associate, I'm interested in bringing your particular artist to my campus. I don't know when, but let me know when you get the chance. The nice thing about the new block booking system is that you can see all of the various blocks and dates that schools happen to have as anchors, and you can select, if you are indecisive about what dates you want to do it, you can select the dates. You can select dates in and around other schools that happen to be in the system already. So single date, the interest is expressed on a particular date versus a range. This level of interest can be upgraded to any other level. Contracted block is formed. The school indicates its willingness to request, and I want to say that forthright, request a contract from the associate upon returning to their institution within a 45-day window of the conference. This level of interest is valid only if the school is a part of a block, 3 schools in 5 days, 5 schools in 7 days. This level cannot be downgraded once a block is formed, and a school can upgrade to a CB from another level. So if there happens to be Test University, Pretend Bible College, as well as Pretend Tech Community College that happen to be within, a 5-day window, then they would qualify as a block. Basically, blocks are formed based upon routing of the particular artist and sharing costs as it relates to travel, lodging, etc. Contract request on site, again, is the most assertive form of block booking, reserved for those who know what date they want and are willing to do whatever they need to do in order to get it. Contracts will not be given on site. They will, however, be sent to the school delegates once the school delegates and associates have returned to campus, but within a 45-day window following the conference. Something that I want to be very cognizant and cautious to tell you is that associate members, once the fall season starts, as you can probably imagine, the conferences are back-to-back. And so there may be some associates that are flying from Myrtle Beach, Florida, directly to Covington, Kentucky, directly to Portland, Oregon, directly to, all of the various areas, Houston, Texas, all the various areas that we have block booking, or I'm sorry, all the various places that we have regional conferences. Block booking meetings, we talked about a little bit before. The first 15 minutes of every meeting is going to be the caucus. This is a time for you to discuss the acts and how to route them to your campuses. Schools and agencies narrow down dates and try to focus the interest levels as much as possible. Then reports are updated during each of the block booking meetings and in camp, and they'll be available in real time to your block booking data portal. Following the conference, what do I do? Well, schedule an update meeting with your programming board, get all your ducks in a row, and finalize booking interest. If you want to upgrade your interest and book an artist, contact the associate. We suggest within 2 weeks of the conference, but remember their travel schedule. But if you email them, they're definitely responsive to that. Contact schools that you met from your area and region to see what other businesses they're planning to do. And then, of course, finalize your block booking within 45 days of the conference to receive the discounted conference rates. Per the policy, associates are not required to hold the special conference or convention pricing post 45 days of the event. So it's in your best interest to follow up and make sure that you stay on them to get you documentation that you need in order to do your booking. That concludes the 2014 NACA Block Booking webinar. I open the floor to any questions that you may have. Hello?
I don't see any questions.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear anything, so I thought my phone.
Sorry, my bad. Oh, wait, one. Will a list of schools attending the regional conference be available prior to the conference?
Say that again?
Will a list of schools attending the regional conference be available prior to the conference?
That is a Christine question. I don't know.
I don't know that it's available to everybody.
I know that once they get on site, there is all the associates get school delegate lists of those that are registered for the conference, but I don't know if that is available online. And I'm assuming that's one of our members that's also a member of a NASPA or ACPA that happens to post who is going to each of the conferences. So that might be something that we can follow. I'll follow up with Christine on that if she's not still on this to see if that's something.
Yeah, she left.
Okay. So I'll follow up with Christine and ask her.
That's all I got.
Oh, great. Well, I thank you all again.
She said we don't publish it online ever.
Okay.
If the school requests it, we can send it to them.
Okay. All right. You heard it directly from the boss herself. If the school requests it, they can be sent. They can be sent to them. But I guess on behalf of myself as well as the regional block booking, my regional block booking team, I want to thank each of you for coming and participating in this webinar. You are going to be significantly more advanced in this block booking system than anyone else that may have not participated in the webinar or will just be able to listen to this fantastic recording. But again, I hope you're as excited about this new process as we are, and we look forward to seeing you this fall. If you happen to see me at one of your conferences, by all means, don't hesitate to come up and introduce yourself. I'd be happy to talk with you.
Great. Thanks so much, Evan, and thanks everybody for hanging around and learning more about this new process. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.